Hello and welcome everyone to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here today from Alumni Field. My name is Charlie Brigham, and I'm going to be the only one on for today's doubleheader, but it should be a good one. The number 19 Michigan Wolverines set for their home opener of the 2022 season, facing it off against the Kent State Golden Flashes. Michigan and Kent State met just a few short days ago, and Michigan beat up on them big, winning that one 13-0 in a 5-inning run rule, leading the way for Michigan. Back in that contest, Sierra Kirsten, Kaylee Amarika Rodriguez, and Kiki Thole were the main ones, with Kirsten and Rodriguez both with a 2-run homer. Kiki Thole tossing in a 3-run homer of her own on the day. 4 total RBIs for Kiki Thole, her career best. So we're going to look to keep that going. Give you the quick starting lineups for both Kent State and Michigan. For the Kent State Golden Flashes, it's going to be Whitmore starting off in the leadoff spot, followed by Raymer, Wing, Cole, Hirschberger, Lebeau, Lippy, Fisk, and Robeson rounding out that starting 9. And then for Michigan, left to right in the infield, it's Bump, followed up immediately by Ella Mcveigh. Over at second base, it's Sierra Kirsten, Lauren Essman at first. And then left to right in the outfield, it's Lexi Blair in left, Christina Burkhart in center field, and Audrey LeClaire over in right. Alex Storacco in the circle. And we are set to go. First pitch from Storacco is called strike on the outside half, and now she's ahead in this count. Corners of the infield playing up. Storacco taking her time, spinning the ball in the right hand. Now the 0-1 advantage pitch. This one fouled backwards into the net and into the hand of Hannah Carson, and now Storacco's up 0-2. Whitmore, 240 hitter on the season. 1 RBI, 1 stolen base. You know she's got the wheel situated in that left-handed batter's box. The 0-2 advantage pitch from Storacco popped up foul, and we're going to do that one again. Alex Storacco so far this season continuing that dominance that she showed off last year through 11 appearances, 10 games started, has a .75 ERA. Looking to keep that as low as possible here. She rolls that one in for ball number 1. 109 strikeouts and now 65 and 2/3 innings pitched. There's a reason why Storacco was named to the first team All Big Ten preseason. Storacco's 1-2 pitch changeup got it a wave at it, and that's strikeout number 1 for Storacco, make it 110 on the year. Infield quick throws around, and that'll bring up hitter number 2, 1 up, 1 down for Storacco. It's going to be the left fielder, number 11, Jade Raymer. Raymer only 7 at-bats on the season, still looking for her first hit as she fouls pitch number 1 off into the net. Raymer, the sophomore from Monclova, Ohio, looking to get things going here for the Golden Flashes. As I mentioned before, these two teams met not that long ago, and Michigan put a hurting on them. Deep breath from Storacco, spinning the ball in the right hand. The 0-1 pitch is hit soft up the middle, but it's going to get past Storacco, and the Golden Flashes have their first base runner of this one. So Kent State doing a nice job bouncing back after the first at-bat was sat right back down. And now Storacco is going to have to go to work with runners on base. It'll be Savannah Wing stepping into that left-handed batter's box, take a big hack at the 0-0 rise ball, but comes up empty. Wing, a .393 hitter on the season. Has 1 home run in her back pocket, so she knows she's got the power. On the 0-1, Storacco goes back to that rise ball, missing high and outside to leave it out 1-1. Raymer perfect on the year on stolen base attempts. She got a decent lead over at first. The 1-1, Storacco going to the rise ball again and again missing upstairs. She'll be down for the first time today, 2-1. Essman and Bump on the corners, playing up a bit, middle of the infield, playing back in double play depth. 2-1 pitch swung on, but coming up empty is Wing, and now we're even back out at 22. Sirocco takes her time looking over towards the dugout, getting her signs now. Corners have taken a step back, playing only about a step in from the bags. 2-2 is chased upstairs, but fouled back, and we'll do it again. Looming large over in the on-deck circle is number 5, Cole. Deep breath from Sirocco. Now the third straight 2-2 pitch. This one popped up. It has a chance to stay in play, but it's going to catch the net, and she's going to have to settle back in for the 2-2 once more. Michigan baseball team over just beyond the outfield fence in Alumni Field, starting to get a little bit of practice in. It's a bit chilly here in Ann Arbor. 40 degrees. Sun still shining, wind blowing in a little bit towards the right field wall. Sirocco's 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Now 3 batters up and 2 sent back to the dugout by Alex Sirocco. And now the Wolverines have 2 outs with a runner on. Madison Cole, the graduate student, will step up to the plate now. The transfer from Rutgers watches pitch number 1 go by, a called strike at the knees. Outfield playing pretty much straight up. Cole over in that right-handed batter's box in the 4-hole. Not too much of a threat to bunt here. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed again, and Sirocco is humming here early in Ann Arbor. Raymer has speed, still over there at first base, hasn't moved since her leadoff single. The 0-2 pitch from Sirocco, check swing, and it doesn't matter, that's strike 3. 4 batters up for Alex Sirocco, 3 sent back to the dugout, and we're headed to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless here in Ann Arbor, as Michigan is going to look to tack some on here. I've mentioned it a few times before, but back just a little bit ago, back in the earlier parts of March, Michigan faced off against Kent State and beat up on them 13-0 in a 5-inning run rule. Michigan looking to do the same here. They put up 5 in the top of the first inning against Kent State the first time, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and then 2 more in the fifth to top things off. Looking back at that game, give you the quick recap if you all missed it. Freshman pitchers Annabelle Wedra and Lauren Durkowski combined for a 1-hit shutout, that one going in the record books as Wedra's first collegiate win in her outing. 3 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, only gave up 1 hit and 1 walk. An impressive outing for sure from the freshman. As I already mentioned, 3 Wolverines homered, and Kirsten, Rodriguez, and Thole with 2-run homers and a 3-run homer from Thole respectively. Also tacking in some RBIs was Christina Burkhart and Lauren Espin, both with RBI doubles with 2 outs in the first inning. So Michigan got on it from the jump, and they have not slowed up since. Michigan has won 8 of their last 10, only dropping games to number 19 Duke and then number 10 Kentucky. Going to look to keep things going here. Give you the starting offensive lineup for Michigan. Back in the leadoff spot, it's Lexi Blair, followed by Molina Livingston, Christina Burkhart in the 3-hole, Hannah Carson batting cleanup. Then for the other half, Lauren Espin batting 5th, Sierra Kirsten 6th, Taylor Bump 7th, Audrey LeClaire 8th, and rounding out the lineup in the 9-hole is Ella Mcveigh. Some music plays and the fans continue to pile in here. I mentioned it is chilly, but it's the home opener. And the Maize and Blue faithful are not going to let a little bit of cold stop them from showing out at Alumni Field and supporting the Michigan Wolverines. Starting in the circle is going to be Jessica Lebeau. She nods to her infield now towards the catcher. To the glove and now the windup. First pitch to Lexi Blair, watched below the knees for ball number 1. Blair hitting .283 on the season, 15 hits and 53 at-bats. She's got 4 doubles. I mean, there's not much to say about Lexi Blair that she hasn't already showed us all herself in her past tenure at Michigan as she fouls off the 1-0 way wide left into foul territory. Lexi settling in now for the 1-1. This one, change up at the knees, bouncing off home plate, and that's going to be ball number 2. Over in the on-deck circle is Molina Livingston, the graduate transfer from Penn State. And boy, has she had an impact so far, hitting .438 on the season for Michigan. As the 2-1 is called a strike in the outside half, Lexi Blair will have to settle back in at a 2-2 count. Taking a long time is Lebeau, now set to deliver the 2-2, hit hard on the line. That one's going to get past the third baseman, and that's a leadoff single for Lexi Blair. Nice piece of hitting there on 2-2. Saw the pitch in the outside half and just let Lebeau do the work for her. Following the leadoff single, that will bring up the aforementioned Molina Livingston. I said .438 hitting on the season, 7-16. She will take her spot in that right-hand side. Blair's got the wheels on base. 3 stolen bases on the season already. First pitch is upstairs for ball number 1. Five runs in the top of the first inning in their last matchup. Michigan looking to do just the same here. Lebeau having a decent year. Record sitting at .500 at 3-3. Second pitch to Molina Livingston called right at the belt for strike number 1. A 2.77 ERA, 43 strikeouts to her name. Blair looking over towards third base, towards Coach Carol Hutchins, getting her signs. Now both Lebeau, Livingston, and Blair settle in. The 1-1 pitch. Big swing, but coming up empty is Livingston, and now she's down in a 1-2 hole. The outfield playing pretty much straight up, infield even with the bags. Christina Burkhart in the on-deck circle. 1-2 advantage pitch from Lebeau. This one popped up my way, and that's going to bounce off the front of the press box, and we're going to do the 1-2 again. Blair got a good jump off the pitch heading towards second base. Be interested to see what she does here. It'll be 1-2 again. Lebeau shakes off a couple signs, now finally going to the glove. Here's the windup. That one upstairs, a changeup missed high. I've mentioned Livingston and Burkhart, both coming in as graduate transfers, and boy, oh boy, have they been a huge piece of Michigan's success early in this season. Both hitting over .400, both hitting over .430. As a 2-2 pitch, Livingston has popped up foul again. Blair was going. Lebeau will have to take her time and figure out what she wants to do here. The speed of Lexi Blair on first base means anything put down a line has potential to score. Long time between pitches for Lebeau. Now this one rides high and hits the front left shoulder of Molina Livingston, and that's 2 runners on. So now here's a position you don't like to be in if you're Kent State. It's going to be Christina Burkhart stepping to the plate with 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. Burkhart on the season, a .484 hitter, 13 doubles and 18 RBIs, has to be sitting in the back of the mind of head coach Eric Oakley. The infield playing up, outfield pretty much straight back. The wind has shifted a little bit, blowing out towards dead center field. First pitch to Burkhart, fouled backwards off the net, and it'll make its way back in play, but she's down in this count 0-1. Livingston yet to attempt to steal on the season, but you know she's got wheels over at first base. A well-placed ball could definitely score one, if not two. 0-1 pitch to Burkhart. Hit hard on the ground over towards the second baseman, and she flubs it. That one's going to go down as an error on the second baseman, Robeson. And now bases are loaded. So Kent State went from having Lexi Blair caught with 2 strikes to now bases loaded, no outs as Hannah Carson steps to the plate. And that 5 runs in the first inning in their last matchup looking more and more clear here. First pitch to Carson, hit hard on a line towards left field. They're going to make the play. Blair's going to tag, and she's going to reach home with plenty of ease. So that one's going to go down as an RBI for Hannah Carson. Raymer didn't have to do much more than take a step in and wait for it to hit her glove. But Michigan puts one on first, and now they're up 1-0 here in Ann Arbor. So first 3 base runners get on, and that's about as good a recipe as any to score some runs. Lexi Blair tags on the line out from Hannah Carson. Now it's going to bring up Lauren Espin with 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. First pitch called strike in the outside. Espin, a .347 hitter on the year. 10 RBIs, and this is now her 50th at-bat. 0-1 pitch, again, same spot, called a strike once more, and now she's down in an 0-2 hole. Nice job by Lebeau not being phased by giving up that RBI. The left fielder Raymer's taking about a step or 2 towards that left field line, but other than that, she's pretty much at equal depth with the rest of the outfield. Infield playing back. 0-2 pitch towards Espin. Rise ball outside. Ball number 1. Home plate umpire Brian Smith shows out the 1-2 count, and now we'll settle back in. 2 runners on. As I mentioned, it's Livingston at second base, Burkhart at first. The 1-2 to Espin is fouled away, and we're going to do that one again. Lauren Espin now in her junior year with the Wolverines, and she has come a long way. Showed flashes of excellence her freshman year, and has just continued to improve. As I mentioned, a .347 hitter so far this season with a .571 slugging percentage. Hitting .500 with runners in scoring position, which bodes well for Michigan with Livingston on second. The 1-2 is way high. That one's getting it even and out. Sierra Kirsten in the 6th hole as we're heading towards the bottom half of the order is sitting over there in the on-deck circle. 2-2 pitch to Espin. Changeup froze her, and that's the second out of the inning. Great pitch there by Lebeau. And now the Flashes are just 1 out away from getting out of this inning with minimal damage. Great bounce back at bat from Lebeau after giving up the run on the sac fly from Hannah Carson. 2 outs, 2 runners on. First pitch to Kirsten is upstairs for ball number 1. Sierra Kirsten now in her sophomore season with the Michigan Wolverines. Corners and Fisk and Wing are playing even with the bags. The 1-0 pitch towards Kirsten. She gets caught on that one, just froze in her tracks. That's going to be strike number 1 for Lebeau. You can see Kirsten was waiting on the off-speed there, and Lebeau just blew it by her. Lebeau shaking off 2 signs. Now goes to the glove on the 3rd. Change up again that freezes her. Now she's ahead in a 1-2 count. That changeup has been the bread and butter for Lebeau here early. 1 runner on second, 1 on first. Michigan will continue this inning on as that one misses high, but threats of leaving runners on base. Again, 2 outs, and it's a 2-2 count. 2 runners on for Sierra Kirsten. Wide stance in that left batter's box is swung on and missed. Lebeau bouncing back after giving up the lone run of the first inning. We're going to head to the top of the second, but not before. Michigan puts one on. They're ahead here 1-0 at Alumni Field. If you are just tuning in, we would like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here on YouTube. I've said it myself time and time again, but none of our coverage could be possible without you all at home. So, again, just appreciate all of your support. As both teams take the field here as we head towards the top of the second inning. Storako struck out 3 in her first inning of work, looking to make it more. Struck out Whitmore in that leadoff spot, gave up the single up the middle to Raymer, but then sat down the next 2. She's got Hirschberger, Lebeau, and Lippy to deal with first, followed by Fisk and Robeson in the 8 and 9 holes before heading to the top of the order. The throw down from Hannah Carson, and looks like we're set to go. Quick little meeting on the mound with the infield. And now we are good to go. Mcveigh and Kirsten head to their spots in the middle. Bump and Essman towards the corners. And then once more the outfield spreads out. Again, Blair, Burkhart, and LeClaire in the outfield. That's left to right. First pitch from Storako towards Madison Hirschberger is swung on and missed for strike number 1. Storako not wasting any time, getting right into her rhythm. Looking to pick up where she left off last inning. The 0-1 from Storako, rise ball chased and fouled back, and now Hirschberger in a very unfortunate position, down 0-2. Alex Storako taking her time, looking towards the dugout. Now taking a deep breath into the glove. 0-2 pitch, just missing on the outside. Carson held it for a little extra half a second. And it seemed almost as though Hirschberger wasn't too sure about that call either. Hirschberger, the sophomore from Lakeland, Pennsylvania, takes a check swing at that one way upstairs. They're going to say she didn't go, so the count will even out at 22. Fans still continuing to fill up the stands. Pretty full beneath me, and then scattered around in the outfield and down the third baseline. 2-2, they're going to check swing again and head down to third base, and the appeal again favors Kent State. So Hirschberger gets away with back-to-back check swings, and now the count's evened out full. No outs, no runners on, and a full count here from Alex Storako. The payoff pitch, check swing, but that one well high. So after getting ahead in the count, Storako loses that one, and Hirschberger battling all the way back from 0-2. After working the walk, that's going to give us a little bit of a pitcher's duel here as Lebeau steps to the plate. Takes a big swing on pitch number 1, tipped back into the glove of Hannah Carson. Lebeau, a right-handed pitcher, hitting from the left side of the dish. Couple deep breaths from Alex Storako, now delivering on 0-1. Lebeau showed bunt and missed it. Now she's down in an 0-2 hole. Great defensive rotation there by the Michigan Wolverines. Taylor bumped, crashed from third base. Lexi Blair flew in towards third to cover. Audrey LeClaire flew over behind first base for the backup on the throw. 0-2 pitch from Alex Storako, high and outside, ball number 1. I mentioned Lebeau did a great job bouncing back after giving up that first run on the sac fly from Hannah Carson. Now looking to earn this one back, but she swings and misses. Great changeup low in the zone from Alex Storako, and that's her 4th strikeout of this contest. Some cheers from the Michigan dugout, and up to the plate steps the designated player, Lippy. First pitch is swung on big, trying to launch that one towards second field, but she comes up empty. Emily Lippy, the sophomore from Hartville, Ohio, looking to get her golden flashes going here in the top of the 2nd inning. Pitch number 2 right down Broadway for a called strike 2. Storako now for the 2nd at-bat this inning, up in an 0-2 count. This one swung on and missed, and that's another strikeout for Alex Storako. Make it now 5 strikeouts in her first 2 innings of work, and this one looking very similar to that back in the 1st inning. Runner on first, 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Alex Fisk. First pitch to the freshman, swung on and missed. And Storako just continues to burn him by these Golden Flashes hitters. Spinning the ball in the right hand and now delivering. Check swing. And they're going to say it's a ball on the outside. That one looked real close from up here. But Alex Fisk had the better look at it. 1-1 count. And 1 runner on first base in Hirschberger. 1-1, missing upstairs. Now Storako down in this count, 2-1. The wind has pretty much died down. A little bit of a breeze blowing out towards center field. Some clouds rolling overhead, and the lights have already turned on here at Alumni Field, and it's not even 5 o'clock yet. The 2-1 pitch from Storako called the strike at the knees, and now she's back in it. Deep breath from Storako. 2-2 pitch on the way. 2 out. Looking to leave a runner on, and she gets her. Storako goes low and outside and gets Fisk to wave at it. That's 2 innings and 6 strikeouts from Alex Storako. And the Wolverines are going to head back out on the offensive attack. It'll be 7, 8, 9 due up for the Wolverines. Taylor Bump, Audrey LeClaire, and Ella Mcveigh before heading back to the top of the order. So make it now 105 strikeouts from Alex Storako so far this 115 strikeouts so far this season as Lebeau takes her spot back in the circle. Just tuning in, would like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to go beneath the video feed and click that big red subscribe button to be notified anytime that we go live so you never miss a broadcast. Unfortunately, WCBN had their trip in Indianapolis cut short this morning as we were down there for the men's Big Ten tournament, but postseason basketball coverage is not done yet, as we will be covering hopefully the first 2 rounds of the NCAA Women's March Madness tournament, as Michigan will hopefully host 2 games, and then depending on where the Wolverines end up, we may follow. But also stay tuned here for plenty of Michigan softball coverage as our season is just getting underway as the Wolverines head home. So Taylor Bump steps up to the plate as Hannah Montana plays through the speakers, and she'll get ready to go. Bump, the senior in that right-handed batter's box, will go to work against Lebeau. Lebeau taking a long time to decide on pitch number 1. Finally goes to the windup, and Bump takes a big hack at it but launches it back foul. Bump, just a 175 hitter this season, but has been making solid contact all year long, just hasn't been able to get him to drop. 0-1 pitch to Bump, rides high for ball number 1. Back in Tampa when myself and alongside Kellen Flynn were down covering Michigan's opening weekend, we saw Taylor Bump get the season jump-started with that 2-run blast that scored both her and Christina Burkhart as she watches the 1-1 go by for a ball. LeClaire over in the on-deck circle, taking her time, trying to time up Lebeau. It's a 2-1 pitch towards Taylor Bump. That one missing just a little bit low, and now Bump will have a hitter's count here. The outfield is taking a step back. Raymer, Hirschberger, and Cole playing about 2 steps in front of the warning track, and now we're going to have a quick timeout called, and then Lebeau just waves off her own call and steps back into the circle. This one hit hard up the middle by Taylor Bump, and that one's going to go down as a single. Lebeau barely getting out of the way at that one. She left it over the middle of the plate, and Bump just barreled it up for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. No outs, 1 runner on. And it'll be 8-9 top coming up. LeClaire looking to continue things here in the bottom of the 2nd. The fresh pitch from Lebeau is fouled down into the knees of the catcher Young. LeClaire trying to slap, but just missed it a bit there. You want to talk about speed. These next 2 hitters in the Michigan order, Audrey LeClaire and Ella Mcveigh, embody that in every way, shape, and form. They can fly around the base paths. Lebeau nods off the first 2 signs, now goes to the windup. Corner's playing up. This one hit high in the air towards left field, and that's going to tail foul. LeClaire got a nice piece of it, but now she'll be down in an 0-2 hole. Again, infield playing up. Robeson and Whitmore in the middle playing almost even with the bags. The corners playing a few steps in front. 0-2 pitch to LeClaire. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch there by Lebeau to go low and away. That one will go down as Lebeau's 3rd strikeout of the afternoon, and that'll bring up Ella Mcveigh. Mcveigh taking her time now, steps into that left-handed batter's box. First pitch to her, missing low and outside for ball number 1. Mcveigh hitting in the 9 hole, so the top of the order up next. Bump hasn't taken much of a lead off her spot at first base. Infield still playing up. Mcveigh watches pitch number 2 go by outside for ball number 2, and now she'll have a hitter's count here. Lebeau has struggled with her command a little bit this inning. Going to have to zone it back in here as to not walk another Wolverine batter. Mcveigh lines up the bat now. The 2-0 pitch fouled backwards into the net. She was all over that one, just missed it by a bit. And Lebeau can take a deep breath as she got away with one there. The 2-1 pitch as Lebeau set to deliver to the freshman Mcveigh. This one hit on the ground right at the Kent State dugout, and it'll bounce back in play. So it'll be 2-2 now. Mcveigh takes a couple practice swings before stepping back in. The freshman hitting .310 on the season. Looking to continue that here. 2-2 pitch on the way. 1 runner on first base and Taylor Bump. Mcveigh hits this one hard on the ground towards third base. They're going to elect to get the lead runner Bump. So Mcveigh will reach safely on a fielder's choice, and now it's 2 outs for the top of the order. Smart play there by Fisk over at third base. Realized she didn't have enough time for the double play, so decided to just take her time and make sure she made the decent throw over to second for the lead runner. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Again, it's Taylor Bump over, or correction, it's now Ella Mcveigh at first base. So we have a quick meeting between the home plate umpire and Coach Carol Hutchins. It's Brian Smith who will now head over to his first base umpire, and the third base umpire comes over. So now Brian Smith, Antonio Flores, and David Lee having a little bit of a meeting in the middle. Not quite sure what's going on here. Looks like it may be a pinch running situation for Michigan, and it is going to be. It'll be not quite sure what the ruling is here. It'll be Taylor Bump who goes and takes her spot back at first base. So Mcveigh will head back to the dugout. It'll be Taylor Bump now on first as Lexi Blair steps to the plate. Blair, in her first time up, scored the lone run for Michigan. Led things off with a single and then scored from third on the sac fly from Hannah Carson. First pitch towards Blair's fouled backwards into the net. We do have a ruling. It looks like Mcveigh was out of the box, so she was called out at home plate, which would mean that Taylor Bump would not advance anyway, so she takes her spot back to where she originally was at first base. 0-1 count on the way towards Blair. Up high, and they're going to try to pick off Taylor Bump at first, but to no avail. 1-1 hitters count for Blair when she steps back in. Molina Livingston over on deck. Again, for anyone who is unaware, this is game 1 of a doubleheader here tonight at Alumni Field. The 1-1 pitch, a changeup low in the dirt. Nice block there by Young. We will be covering both of these games, myself alone here in the booth, and then we will be back here at Alumni Field on Sunday for game number 3 of this series. 2-1 pitch to Blair, hit deep towards right center field, and forget about that one. As it bounces up into the bleachers, Lexi Blair tacks 2 more on following the 2-run shot. The 2-1 pitch to Blair was left over the plate, and she absolutely punished that ball. That one a no-doubter right off the bat. And now Michigan ahead 3-0 here. Almost seemed as though Lebeau tried to quick pitch her, and the senior hitter in Lexi Blair not phased at all. So that'll bring up Livingston. Hits this one hard on the ground. It's going to go off the right leg of Robeson. The second baseman now taking advantage of the ball as it rolls into the outfield is Livingston, and she takes second base. Talk about a spark plug with 2 outs. Lexi Blair knocks in the 2-run homer, and then Livingston reaches on error at first and then takes advantage of the miscommunication between the Golden Flash's defenders and takes second. So now a 1-run ball game with 2 outs and a runner on first is turned into a 3-run game with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position with Livingston on second base. First pitch to Christina Burkhart is called strike in the outside half. Fantastic heads-up base running there by Molina Livingston. Realized that the ball went off of the right leg of Robeson and made its way into the outfield. and then no one was covering second, so just scoot on over there and take the extra bag. Change up to Burkhart, bounces off home plate for ball number 1. One pitch towards Christina Burkhart. This one, a rise ball hit high, and it's going to go towards left field, but bounce off the foul wall. Just a little bit late on that one. Half a second earlier, and Burkhart would have had a double. So 2 outs here. Burkhart down in a 1-2 hole. Lebeau trying to get her team back in the dugout. Change up. Up above the letters of Burkhart. Now it'll go 2-2. Michigan now up 3-0. Lexi Blair responsible for 2 of those 3, scoring on the sac fly back in the first and then hammering in that 2-run home run just moments ago. 2-2 pitch is lined right at the Kent State dugout. Burkhart, a .477 hitter, hitting .500 this season, went up at the plate with 2 outs. Lebeau shakes off 2 signs, now goes to the mitt on 2-2, and it's going to be a foul ball. We'll do it again. The third baseman Fisk will run over and grab it as it bounced back in play. Christina Burkhart will settle back in now. 2-2 pitch. Runner on second base with 2 outs here. Changeup, hit up the middle. Coming up and making a nice play on it is the second baseman, Robeson. And she'll make the out and send Michigan back into their dugout. But not before the Wolverines put up 2 more here in the bottom of the second. Lexi Blair with the 2-run blast into right center field that scored her and Taylor Bump. And Michigan is up 3 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Alex Storako to take the circle once more. Already today, Storako with 6 strikeouts. Doing it all herself here at Alumni Field. Before we get going in the top of the 3rd inning again, would like to thank everyone for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. And a quick reminder that coming up this Wednesday, so a little less than a week away, is Giving Blue Day. Giving Blue Day is the yearly fundraiser here at the University of Michigan, where WCBN, along with a lot of clubs, generate a lot of their income for the year. So if you're interested on donating, stay tuned. Is coming up shortly on our Twitter page in the next few days. We will have a promotional video set up along with our webpage where you can make sure to donate on Wednesday if you feel so inclined. Obviously, donations not mandatory by any sense of the word, but always very much appreciated, and those donations do help out immensely. Our trips, like down to Tampa or to Indianapolis for both the men's and women's basketball coverage, our trips down to the Orange Bowl and everything like that, those aren't cheap. And so again, if you feel so inclined to donate, stay tuned, as that will be popping up on our Twitter feed shortly. Top of the 3rd inning here. And Kent State's going to look to have to get something going here. They're at the bottom of the order. It's Robeson in the 9-hole, and then back up to the top of the order with Whitmore over on deck. Storaco's first pitch, a rise ball, missed upstairs, and now she goes right back to it, and we're evened out 1-1 following the big swing and a miss from Delaney Robeson. The freshman Robeson can look to bounce back after a few defensive mistakes so far this game. She made a nice play to close out the inning in the bottom of the 2nd, but again, a few costly mistakes has allowed Michigan to just extend innings. 2-1 pitch from Storako, swung on and missed, and now Storako again, 2-2. Kellen and I mentioned this down in Tampa. But, we say 2-0 hitters counts or 3-1 hitters counts, but with Alex Storako in the circle, it seems like she's always in control. As she gets her to swing on the 2-2, Robeson just waved at that one and make it strikeout number 7 for Alex Storako. Storako continues her impressive campaign so far in this one against Kent State. All 7 outs so far have come off the right hand of Alex Storako. She now faces Whitmore. This one dribbled towards third base, and making a nice play across the diamond is Taylor Bump for the first Michigan out, not from a strikeout. Whitmore went to slap that one, barely got a hold of it, slowly dribbled it towards third base. Bump doing a nice job, coming up, fielding it cleanly on the move, and rifling it across the diamond to Lauren Essman. I have a quick word between the home plate umpire Brian Smith and Taylor Bump, who will now take a lap over towards the dugout to share a quick few words, and now we'll reset. Getting a lot of discussion between the umpire staff today. Not too sure the cause of that, but doesn't matter. No outs and 2 runners on. It's going to be Jade Raymer up the plate. She knocks the first pitch foul down the third base line. Raymer singled in her last time up back in the first inning. The only hit so far today from the Kent State Golden Flashes. Corners playing up, middle of the infield, even with the bags. The outfield has taken a good few steps in as well. 0-1 missing just below the knees. Deep breath from Storako, now set for the 1-1 delivery. Raymer swings at that one with pretty much one hand and coming up empty. And now she's down in a 1-2 hole. One-two pitch from Storako. Missing low in the zone, and we're going to go 22. The wind picking up a bit. Blowing out towards right center field. Shifting around a little bit between blowing towards the foul pole and right center. As Jade Raymer fouls off the 2-2. The sun poking through the clouds a little bit here. It was hidden for pretty much all of the game, and now finally making its appearance known here in the top of the third. 2-2 pitch from Storako, change up low in the zone, and that's going to go down as ball number 3. Full count pitch here with 2 outs. Storako checks the wristband, spins the ball in the right hand, now delivers. Rise ball way upstairs, and Raymer will reach base for the second time today. So it seems as though Jade Raymer kind of has Storako figured out, has reached base, as I mentioned, both times she stepped up to the plate. So now Kent State showing a little bit of signs of life here. 2 outs and a runner on. First pitch to Savannah Wing is a change up for a called strike. Storako bouncing right back after the walk. To the wristband and out of the glove. The 0-1 delivery from Alex Storako. Change up again, this one missing upstairs. One runner on here in the top of the third inning. Michigan holds this 3-0 lead. Looking to keep it that way with 2 outs here. That one, a called strike. An emphatic call from home plate umpire Brian Smith. And now Storako back out in front 1-2. One-two pitch from Storako with 2 outs. This one just missing the outside. Wing back in her first time up in the first inning, struck out swinging, as well as Cole, the one in the on-deck circle. 2-2 pitch from Storako. This one hit softly on the ground over towards Taylor Bump. Fumbled it out of her glove, picks it up, fires it across the diamond. And an incredible recovery play from Taylor Bump to get the runner at first base. So Storako finally letting her defense do a little bit of something here as Taylor Bump makes two nice plays over at third to send us to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be 4, 5, 6 due up for Michigan as Kent State leaves another runner on. It'll be Carson, Essman, and Kirsten, followed by Taylor Bump, Audrey LeClaire, and Ella Mcveigh. Carson, in her first time up back in the first inning, lined out to Raymer in left field, but that one good enough to score Lexi Blair, who tagged up for the first run of this ball game. Again, Michigan leading 3-0. First one coming in the first inning off the RBI of Carson that I just mentioned, and then two coming last inning off the big two-run slam towards right center field off the bat of Lexi Blair. If you're just tuning in, we'd like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here from Alumni Field. This one, Game 1 of our two-game doubleheader. Game 2 following this one after about probably 20 minutes of intermission. And here we go. Both teams take their spots in the infield. And stepping up to the plate is Hannah Carson. Carson hitting just under 300 so far this season at 295. First pitch to her, rise ball upstairs for ball number 1. Essman over on deck. No action in either bullpen, so Lebeau and Storako seemingly will continue this one. Lebeau liked that pitch, but home plate umpire did not agree. It's going to be called low and outside. Now Hannah Carson with the 2-0 hitters count. Corners of the infield playing even with the bags. Middle infield playing pretty much normal depth. 2-0 pitch is hit hard on the ground towards shortstop. It's going to be fired across the diamond and pops out of the glove of the first baseman Wing. Whitmore had all the time in the world and left it a little bit low. Hannah Carson legging that one out. And will go down as an E3. So Hannah Carson will reach safely. That's an unfortunate turn of events for Kent State. They got a very good hitter in Hannah Carson to dribble one in the infield, but couldn't convert. Lauren Essman hits this one towards left field, skying in the air and making the play cleanly is the left fielder Raymer. So Carson, following, legging out that infield single, will be stuck on first with one out. One out, one runner on, and Hannah Carson on first. And that'll bring up Sierra Kirsten. Struck out swinging in her first time up back in the first inning. First pitch swung on and missed again. Lebeau going with the rise ball there. Carson settles back in over at first base, has the right foot on that back corner of the bag. 0-1 pitch from Lebeau. Popped up foul, and she's heading this one 0-2. The ball bounces off the back net and right back to her. Kirsten settles in now. Has that open stance from the left-hand side. Now here's the 0-2. This one rides up high. Young pops up in her stance to field it. Lebeau still out in front here. 1-2 count. 1 out, and Hannah Carson still over there on first. The 1-2 delivery from Lebeau swung on and missed and sits Kirsten down for the second time today. Kirsten took a big hack at that one. Had she connected, might have been extra bases. 2 outs now and 1 runner on. That'll bring up Taylor Bump. Had a single back in the second inning. That hard line drive up the middle. And then scored off the 2-run home run from Lexi Blair. Hits this one on a line towards right field, and losing into the sun is the right fielder Cole. Carson's going to make her way all the way over towards third base, and Taylor Bump on base for the second straight inning. Bump hit that one on a rope towards right field. And again, as I mentioned, the right fielder Cole just kind of lost it in the sun a bit. Misread it off the bat, had to dive forward to grab it, and it landed just a bit short of her glove. Kent State lucky it didn't bounce over her glove, because that would have almost assuredly scored Hannah Carson. Now Taylor Bump, 2 for 2 on the day, as she takes her spot over on first base. First pitch to Audrey LeClaire, a called strike up near the letters. Lebeau will have to hold strong here. 2 outs and runners on the corners. Second pitch to Audrey LeClaire, a changeup that misses outside. It'll even out 1-1. Mcveigh on deck, should we get there. Lebeau takes her time, now delivers on the 1-1, again missing upstairs. Nice job by Young to hop up and keep it from making its way to the backstop. So Bump still on first base. It's a 2-1 count here for Audrey LeClaire. 2 outs. Swung on and missed. They're going to try to throw down towards third base, and Hannah Carson going to pop up. The ball made its way into the outfield, but Carson couldn't hop up in time. Great job by the left fielder Raymer to come over to back that one up. Because for a second, it looked like Hannah Carson might have been able to just walk on home. The pitch was a strike from Lebeau, so now she's got a 2-2 count. 2 outs and runners on the corners. Looking to strand some here. This one hit hard on a line down the third baseline. They're going to call it foul. Both runners continue, and Hutch is visibly upset about that one. They're going to send the runners back. So Bump, who made her way all the way over to third base, will head back to first. That off the bat looked like it was going to be an RBI double from Audrey LeClaire. Again, that one really close from up here. My angle looked like it might have made its way over the bag, but obviously home plate umpire Brian Smith has the better angle. We'll do the 2-2 again. This pitch to LeClaire hits softly on the ground towards second base. It's going to be a close play, and legging out the infield single is Audrey LeClaire. That'll go down as an RBI, and Michigan up now 4-0. Great way to bounce back there by Audrey LeClaire. And as I said, Michigan up now 4-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. 2 outs and 2 runners on. Still one in scoring position, just over at second base now, as the freshman Ella Mcveigh will step up to the plate. Mcveigh grounded out her last time up. Was actually called out of the box, so called out right at home. First pitch to her is watched outside for strike number 1. Two outs, 2 runners on, and an 0-1 pitch on the way from Lebeau. check swing upstairs, and they'll go down to appeal to third base umpire Mark Sefik, who says she was safe. Mcveigh taking her time, stepping back into the batter's box now. 1-1 pitch on the way with 2 outs. That one catches the outside corner with no doubt. And now Mcveigh down in a 1-2 hole. If you're Michigan, you'd love to see Mcveigh get on base here, as Lexi Blair, who's currently 2 for 2 on the day with a 2-run homer, is sitting over on deck. Mcveigh lines up the bat. The 1-2 pitch. Left a little bit low and outside. Lebeau wanted that one. Bump on second. LeClaire on first. 2 outs and a 2-2 count here for the freshman Mcveigh. Lining up the bat once more. Lebeau's 2-2 pitch. Hit hard on the ground towards shortstop. It's going to be an awkward play. Flip over to third. And they're going to call Taylor Bump out for interference. And I don't know about that one. Bump had the right of way, making her way towards third base. The shortstop Whitmore had to run up to field that one, but I didn't see any contact, and if so, it was incidental. I don't know about that call, but Bump being called out there will send us to the top of the 4th inning. So we'll head top 4. Michigan able to put one more across as Alex Storako takes the circle now for what will be her 4th inning of work. Through 3 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 1 hit. The Golden Flash is still not really able to get anything going. Make it 116 total strikeouts on the season from Storako, as she's picking up right where she left off last year. Have a couple substitutions for the Michigan Wolverines. Mcveigh will make her way to second base, but coming in for Sierra Kirsten is Kaylee Rodriguez. So again, we'd like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage here on YouTube. And again, this is game 1 of a doubleheader, the second game coming up immediately following this one. That one will almost assuredly be under the lights, as they're already on here. The sun's still out a bit in Ann Arbor. And again, I mentioned it briefly before, but Giving Blue Day is coming up, so stay tuned and stay locked into our Twitter feed to make sure you don't miss the donation page if you feel so inclined to help us out a little bit financially, as most of our funds come through Giving Blue Day itself. We are underway here in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch from Storako to Madison Cole is hit on the line, but foul towards left field. Lexi Blair will run over to the corner to field it. So following the long strike from Storako, she'll be ahead in this one 0-1. And her last time up, Cole struck out that one back in the 1st inning. Is Storako now up 0-2. Cole waved at a couple changeups back in the 1st, but Storako yet to go to that here. Deep breath from Storako. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled backwards into the net and bounces forward over towards Lauren Essman, so Storako will do that one again. Corners playing even with the bags. Outfield playing pretty much straight up. The wind has picked up significantly, blowing out towards the right field corner. Storako's 0-2 swung on and missed. There's that changeup that got Cole the first time. And Storako gets the better of her again. 8 strikeouts now in the afternoon for Rocco. Madison Hirschberger to step up to the plate now. Worked a walk back in the 2nd inning. Was down in an 0-2 hole. and worked her all the way back to a walk. First pitch is high and outside for ball number 1. Hirschberger, the center fielder, a .278 hitter on the season, although her action has been limited. 5 hits and only 18 at-bats as she watches pitch number 2 go by for a called strike 1, a changeup on the outside half. Kent State dugout showing a few signs of life here as we make our way to the top of the 4th inning. This one hit deep towards right center field, back to the wall, and that one's gone. Storako left it over the plate, and Hirschberger turned on it. A solo home run here in the top of the 4th inning, and Kent State finally on the board. The sophomore Hirschberger coming up big for Kent State. I mentioned they're showing some signs of life in the dugout for the first time in a long while, and it paid off. So Michigan's 4-0 lead cut down to 3 here. Storako will go back to work against Lebeau. Goes right to the rise ball and gets her to chase. The count now 0-1. Deep breath from Storako. Now delivers on 0-1. Check swing on the rise ball. And they're going to say she went around. Lebeau unhappy with that one. Definitely went around, but more so mad at herself for chasing. That one well above the zone. So following giving up the home run, Storako battles right back with 2 straight strikes, missing that one a rise ball high. Tried to get Lebeau to chase again. One-two pitch from Storako to Lebeau, again going to the rise ball and again missing high. Storako's ERA has gone up a little bit to a .82, still very, very impressive as she rings up Lebeau with a changeup on the outside corner. Lebeau just stood there helpless as she watched that one go by. We do have a pinch hitter for the Golden Flashes. It's going to be Jess Dodd coming in for Emily Lippy. So Dodd, the freshman outfielder from Eastlake, Ohio, will get her first attempt in this one. Lippy struck out swinging with a pretty half-hearted attempt back in the 2nd inning, so Kent State deciding to try and mix things up here. First pitch to Dodd is a little bit low, just below the knees for ball number 1. Storako taking her time, going to the wristband. Now delivers. Big swing from Dodd on 1-0, but she comes up empty. This now only the 4th at-bat of the season for the freshman, as Dodd still looking for her first hit. Deep breath and the delivery on 1-1. Gets her to chase upstairs for strike number 2. Dodd coming into pinch hit in that 7th position, so it's 8-9 top should we get there. It's Fisk on deck. 1-2 pitch from Storako. Gets her to chase way upstairs again. And Storako sits down the freshman. We head to the bottom of the 4th, and Michigan going to look to get one back. Kent State finally putting one on the board in top 4 off the bat of Hirschberger on the deep drive to right center field. We head to bottom 4. We're just about a minute away from resuming action, but again, we'd like to remind everyone that this is game 1 of a 2-game doubleheader. I will be on the call immediately following this one as well. And as the clock ticks closer and closer to 6 p.m., I would just like to remind everyone that if you enjoy WCBN sports coverage and would like more, you can tune in every week, Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor for the Daily Sports Report, WCBN's daily sports talk radio show. Today it will be William Gregory hosting, so make sure to tune in to see what Will's got to say. Also, if you would like to see more of our content, in the video description of this one, I have links to our Twitter feed, our Instagram, as well as our website. My co-executive director, Adam Bressler, just put out an article both on our Twitter feed and on our website about the movement to try and expand the maze rage for Michigan basketball. It's a great read, and if you haven't already, I highly recommend you going to check that one out. Lexi Blair now stepping to the plate. Blair 2 for 2 on the afternoon with a single and a 2-run blast. Shows bunt on the first pitch and caught Kent State off guard, but it bounced back foul. Again, as I mentioned, a single back in the first inning, scored off the sac fly from Hannah Carson, and then doing it herself in inning number 2 on the 2-run home run towards right center field that scored both her and Taylor Bump. Lebeau's 0-1 pitch fouled back again, and now Lebeau is out in front against a very good hitter in Lexi Blair. Blair's first 2 hits on the afternoon have brought her average back up over 300, now sitting at a cool 309. The 0-2 pitch, changeup, just missing low in the zone. That home run back in the second. Also, Blair's first of the season. One-two pitch on the way from Lebeau. Blair takes a deep breath of her own. Now the 1-2 hit high, and it's foul again. That's now 4 pitches in this at-bat, 3 of them fouled away by Lexi Blair, and she seems to be all over everything Lebeau is throwing her way right now. Corners, even with the bags, outfield, playing a step back. 1-2 pitch to Blair. Lebeau tried to get her to chase upstairs, but Blair, a very disciplined hitter, lets it go by. The count will go 2-2. Molina Livingston in the on-deck circle. She's 0 for 1 today. Reached on a walk once and then reached on a single as that one gets past the second baseman and makes its way all the way to the wall. Misfielding it is the right fielder, Cole. And that one will go down as another hit for Lexi Blair. Hit a hard line drive through that gap between first and second base. Diving at it was the new second baseman, Lewandowski. But it doesn't matter. Lexi Blair legging it out to second base as well, following the misplay by Cole in right field. And that'll bring up Livingston with Blair on second base. Make it 3 for 3 on the day so far for Lexi Blair. Livingston pops up pitch number 1. It's going to barely make its way out of the infield. Lewandowski drops it. It went above her head, and that one will go down as an error, but both runners reach safely. It's Livingston on first base, reaching on air for the second straight time. And Lexi Blair will make her way over to third, and the Golden Flashes will have a quick mound meeting, and yeah, I think it's about time for one. So 2 mistakes allow the Michigan Wolverines to capitalize. They went from what realistically should have been 1 out with a runner on first base, as the misplay in right field on the Lexi Blair single led to her on second, and then dropping the pop-up, making its way just out of the infield. We'll bring up Christina Burkhart with runners on first and third. Burkhart, a .470 hitter on the year, already has 18 RBIs in 31 hits. Takes a big swing at pitch number 1, but comes up empty, and Lebeau ahead now 0-1. Burkhart lines up the bat, now settles back in. Good speed on both corners. The pitch popped up foul, and now Burkhart down in an 0-2 hole. Hannah Carson over on deck as well. Again, it's Livingston on first base, Lexi Blair on third. Lebeau shakes off 2 signs. Taking your time, now goes to the glove on 0-2. 0-2 pitch to Burkhart, a rise ball that misses upstairs, and Lebeau will still be out in front, 1-2, as we have quick time for Lexi Blair to tie her shoe. Deep breath from Lebeau. The 1-2 pitch, left in the zone, hit on a line. That one's going to make its way down into the left field, and Lexi Blair will score with ease. Great piece of hitting there by Christina Burkhart, and that'll knock one more across. It'll be Livingston making her way over to second base. So now it's a 5-1 ball game. Michigan gets back the one they gave up in the top half of this inning. Hannah Carson will go to work with 2 runners on. First pitch went off the handle of her bat up near her eyes, but it'll go down as a foul ball, so she's down in this count 0-1. Again, good speed on the bags with Burkhart at first, Livingston on second. Carson hits this one, a slow dribbler towards second base, a misplay by Lewandowski, and all the runners are going to reach safely. That one just a slow dribbler up the middle from Hannah Carson, and Kent State having all sorts of defensive mishaps here. All runners reach safely, as I said. So now it's going to be bases juiced for Lauren Essman as she steps up to the plate now. Not a position you want to be in if you're Kent State. No outs and bases loaded. First pitch to Lauren Essman, called strike in the outside half. Carson on first, Burkhart on second, and Livingston over there on third base. Lebeau's 0-1 pitch to Essman. Watched outside for ball number 1. Rodriguez over in the on-deck circle. Infield playing up in run prevention mode. Outfield playing a couple steps in from the warning track. Lebeau takes the deep breath. The 1-1 delivery to Essman. Change up freezes her, and that one's going to be a called strike. You could see Essman was sitting on something with a little more zip there. Nice pitch by Lebeau to catch her off balance. She's now up in this count 1-2. Bases loaded, no outs for Essman. This one, rise ball, goes up past the eyes of Essman, and the count now evened out. Two, no outs, and bases loaded here for Lauren Essman. The pitch from Lebeau, left in the middle of the zone, and Essman got a good piece of it, but hit it foul. So we're going to do this 2-2 pitch again. Again, bases loaded. Livingston on third, Burkhart on second, Carson on first. The pitch to Essman. Swung on and fouled back again. Kent State just going to try to hold on here. Michigan in a very good position to do some damage. Lebeau shakes off the first sign, now goes to the glove. 2-2 pitch to Essman. This one hit high towards left field, and it's going to make its way foul off the batting cage, and we'll do it again. Esmond and Lebeau are fighting for every inch they can here. Esmond looking to crack this one open even more. Lebeau looking to just hold on. Shaking off the first sign. Now to the windup on 2-2. This one, changeup, hit on the ground towards second base. It's going to be a close play at home, and legging it out is Livingston. Michigan puts another one on. Bases stay juiced. It's now a 6-1 ball game here at Alumni Field. Esmond didn't get too good of a piece of that one. Kind of a chopper towards second base. Lewandowski came up, fielded it on the run, but Livingston just got a fantastic jump from third base. It was a close play, but she reached pretty safely. That'll bring up Kaylee Rodriguez. The infield playing up now. Bases still loaded. First pitch called a strike on the outside half. I mentioned it before the start of this game, but back in their first matchup, Rodriguez had a 2-run homer. And boy, would that do some damage here. 0-1 pitch towards Rodriguez. Bases loaded. That one missing high, way above her head. Again, nice job there by Young behind the plate. Hopping up to keep Burkhart honest at third base. So now the positions have changed a bit. It's Burkhart at third, Carson at second, Lauren Esmond over at first base. 1-1 pitch to Kaylee Rodriguez, missing high and outside. Now she's got a 2-1 count to work with. Taylor Bump looming large over in the on-deck circle. Two-1 count to the sophomore Rodriguez. Lebeau finally decides on a sign. This one up near her eyes, and it'll be a 3-1 hitter's count here for Rodriguez when she steps back in. No action in the Kent State bullpen, so Lebeau will just ride this one out. Rodriguez hitting .333 this year with runners in scoring position. The 3-1 pitch called a strike in the outside. Rodriguez wanted that one called for ball 4. She started to trot down to first base. Takes a big walk over to reset, and now she'll step back in with a full count. Full count and no outs. Bases loaded. Lebeau looking for out number 1. Swung on and missed, and she got it. Nice pitch there by Lebeau. But she's got Taylor Bump to deal with now. Bases loaded and 1 out. And up to the plate steps Taylor Bump. 2 for 2 on the day is Bump. Singles in both the second and third innings. Scored off the single back in the second rather. One out, bases loaded for Bump. Would be surprised if Lebeau gave her anything decent to hit here. First pitch is well outside for ball number 1. Audrey LeClaire on deck. Deep breath from Lebeau. The 1-0 delivery to Bump. Swung on and missed. They're going to say she tipped it back into the glove of Young, and now we're evened out at 1-1. 5-run lead for Michigan. It's 6-1. Bases loaded with 1 out here. The 1-1 pitch just above the letters of Taylor Bump, and now she's ahead 2-1. If you're Lebeau, you do not want to put Taylor Bump in a hitter's count here. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up, well foul. Bump took a big hack at it, but unable to put it in play. It's now a 2-2 count. Boy, how huge would it be if Lebeau could battle her way all the way back from no outs with bases loaded to minimize all the damage here. 2-2 count to Taylor Bump. Swung on and missed. That's 2 straight strikeouts with bases loaded. And now Lebeau just 1 out away from minimizing the damage and getting her team back in there on the offensive end. LeClaire legged out an infield single her last time up. She's got bases loaded here. First pitch outside for ball number 1. Ella Mcveigh, the freshman, on deck. Again, just to recap, it's Burkhart on third, Carson on second, Esman on first. And a 1-0 count to Audrey LeClaire. This one hit hard over the head of the third baseman. That's going to score 1. Going to score 2 as well as Hannah Carson rounds third and makes its way home. A 2-run single off the bat of Audrey LeClaire. And Michigan continues to tack them on here. Make it now a 7-run ball game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We do have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Kiki Thole to step up to the plate now for Ella Mcveigh. Thole, I mentioned earlier as well, had that 3-run homer back in the first game of the season against Kent State. Had 4 total RBIs in that one, her career high. 2 runners on for Thole with 2 outs. First pitch called strike at the knees on the outer half. Thole hitting .212 this season with 2 home runs and a double. The 1-0 pitch. This one hit high and deep towards center field. Back to the wall. Forget about it. Kiki Thole with a 3-run pinch hit home run. And Michigan continues to tack it on. Kiki Thole absolutely crushes that ball towards dead away center field. And Michigan continues to hammer them on here. A bases clearing 3-run home run on a pinch hit from Kiki Thole. And Michigan now up 11-1. Not a position you want to be in if you're Kent State. On one hand, you've finally got the bases cleared for the first time in a while, but up to the plate steps Lexi Blair, who's 3 for 3 on the day with 2 singles and a home run of her own. First pitch from Lebeau was called low for ball 1. She goes right back to the zone for a called strike on number 2. Flashback just a couple brief moments ago. Kiki Thole comes in for the pinch hit of Ella Mcveigh and crushes a ball 230 feet towards dead center field. Pitch number 3 to Blair is a changeup called to the knees, so now she's down in a 1-2 hole with 2 outs and no runners on. Lebeau's 1-2, a rise ball. Fouled back over the net. Blair chased a little bit, but doesn't matter as she makes contact. Quick few words of discussion between home plate umpire Brian Smith and the catcher Jalen Young. Now the 1-2 to Blair. Just missing low, and the count will go 2-2. Great discipline there by Lexi Blair not to chase low. Sun's starting to set a bit here in Ann Arbor. 2-2 pitch to Lexi Blair. Changeup. Hit hard on the ground towards second base, and making a nice play is Lewandowski. Almost threw it a bit wide, but nice grab by Wing over at first. Finally making their way out of the jam is Kent State, but not before Michigan tacks on 7 in the bottom of the 4th inning. As Pump It Up plays through the speakers Michigan holds an 11-1 lead here against the Golden Flashes. What an outing for Michigan. A lot of those runs coming, should be noted, with 2 outs. So Storako will take her place back in the circle. She's got the 11-1 lead. Again, if you just missed it, Michigan tacked on quite a few last inning. The highlight coming off the bat at Kiki Thole, a 3-run home run towards dead center field. She comes in to pinch hit for Ella Mcveigh. And now Michigan, 11 runs on 9 hits as they hold a 10-run lead here as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Mcveigh has re-entered for Thole, so she'll take her spot over at shortstop. So Kiki Thole comes in and does what she needs to do. And Storako, all she has to do now is minimize damage. An 11-1 lead here in Ann Arbor as we have a pinch hit. It's going to be Dylan Robertson stepping to the plate right now. First pitch to Robertson, a changeup on the outside, called strike 1. Robertson pinch hitting for Fisk. She's down in an 0-1 hole early. Second pitch, exact same spot, called strike number 2. Michigan continuing to dominate on both ends. Deep breath from Storako as she delivers the 0-2 pitch to Robertson. Changeup goes a little bit high up near the eyes, and that'll be ball number 1. One-two pitch swung on and missed from Storako. Got her on the changeup low in the zone. Fantastic pitch. Make it strikeout number 11 for Alex Storako in the afternoon, and an even 120 on the season. She'll have the second baseman Lewandowski to deal with here. Lewandowski watches pitch number 2 go by after fouling off the first, and now she's down in an 0-2 hole. Kent State is going to have to get some things going here as they're down 10 here in the top of the 5th. 2-strike pitch from Storako, fouled backwards into the net. Count stays the same. Carson taking her time behind the plate, looking over towards the dugout. Now relays the signs towards Alex Storako. 0-2 pitch up high in the zone, missing for ball number 1 of this at-bat. Smile on her face as Alex Storako steps back into the circle. 1-2 pitch, changeup, gets her to swing at it, and Carson grabs it off the bounce and tags. Another strikeout for Alex Storako, make it 12 on the afternoon. That will bring up another pinch hitter. It's going to be Kylie Ringler stepping up to the plate for Whitmore. First pitch to Ringler, called a strike in the outside half. Kent State starting to clear the bench a little bit here as they're down 10 in the top of the fifth. Throwing a half-hearted attempt at a swing is Ringler, and now Storacco's up 0-2 in this count. 2 outs. Deep breath from Storacco. The windup. The pitch swung on and missed. Another strikeout from Alex Storacco. And what an outing from Storacco. The Michigan Wolverines run rule Kent State here in game number 1 of this doubleheader. 11-1 the final. The Wolverines break things open in the bottom of the 4th inning by putting up 7. Kiki Thole with the capstone 3-run home run to push him over the edge. And again, what a game it was. Storacco throws 13 strikeouts through 5 innings of work, only giving up 1 hit and 2 walks. An impressive outing for the preseason first-team All-Big Ten unanimous selection. But that will do it for this one. Again, what a game it was. The bats came through all the way across. Lexi Blair with quite the day to start things off. 3 for 3 in her 4 at-bats with 2 RBIs. Christina Burkhart went 1 for 1. And what a game it was. But again, that will do it for the first game of this doubleheader here on YouTube. I will be back here in just a little bit for game number 2. But again, would like to thank you for all tuning in and listening here on WCBN Sports on YouTube. Again, we are 20 minutes away from 6 o'clock, which means while you're waiting for game number 2 to start, if it's not done by then, you can tune in to 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor for the Daily Sports Report, where William Gregory and Jake Singer will be talking over a few things, some news in the NFL world, as it seems as Khalil Mack might be going to the Chargers. I'm sure they'll have plenty of takes on that. But for Charlie Brigham at Alumni Field for game number 1 of the doubleheader, that will do it. Again, would like to thank everyone for tuning in, and we will see you back here in just a little bit. But until then, go Blue.